All right, welcome to TigerComp. We're looking at Excel 6. Last time we learned about creating tables in Excel, and we're going to use the same concepts again today. So go to your Office 365, right? Do a search for Excel 6 data and questions, and you'll get this file to come up as Excel 6 data and questions. There's a number 2 behind it also. All right, so you're going to open that one up, right? Or if you just select it, right, then you can come over here and open it, and then go ahead to the corner here and download a copy, or just go ahead and save a copy, I guess, for that step right away. Save a copy. No, not there. You want to download it, download a copy, and then save it with your name, and then go ahead and be ready for the next part of the video. All right. Alright, then you should have a sheet now with your name on it, Excel 6 with your name, and it should have 3 little tabs on the bottom, sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3 with the questions that you'll be answering as your homework. Alright, step 1, we want to turn this into a table. Alright, and so we're going to go ahead, insert table. Alright, make sure we got that checked. Okay. Alright, now, one thing we want to do is we want to add in the idea of not just being able to sort things and filter things. Those are very valuable tools, but now we want to add in the concept of putting formulas together with these tables to be able to work together. So to do this, right, if I scroll down to the bottom, right, of this, that's 800, so you might want to use this over here. Right, with our table selected, we want to go to Table Tools Design, and we want to click on Total Row. And this, when you click that, you can see you're going to see a new row, and it's going to be totals. And this row has special features. Now, right now, it automatically goes to the last column, and it figures things out. And it says Order ID. And of course, we don't really need the totals for our Order ID, so we're going to go ahead and delete that and not worry about it. From here, though, let's go to our order amount, and let's get a total there. So if I click on that cell, that's going to be C801, and you're going to see there's a little arrow there on the right now. I'm going to click that, and I can go down to sum, and you're going to get about 1.2 million there to go ahead and figure that out. Right. Now with that money in place, you may notice that up at the top it doesn't say sum, right? It says subtotal. Right? And the reason it says subtotal is because you're working in a table. And tables, because you want to be able to use these filters, it uses that term subtotal instead of sum. Right? And so it's a very similar concept, but just different wording so that the program works properly. Now, if we look at this table and we're understanding it, alright, gotta fix it. Moving on. If we go back up to the top, right, if we were an actual salesperson, right, most salespeople work on what's called commission, which means they get a percentage of the sale, right? So if Buchanan here sold something for $440, he would get a certain percent of that $440 on top of his regular salary, right? It's kind of like a little bonus every time you have a good sale. And right now our table doesn't show us what that commission is. And so right now we kind of want to add that column. So if I go over here to Order ID and I right click on that cell, right click and go to Insert, and I can add a column to the right. And now that I have that, I can change that to commission. 2 M's in commission, 2 S's also. Right, commission. And so we have that idea. Now, to find commission, right, that's a percentage of our value. Right? For this instance, we're going to use 3%. Right? So they get 3% of their sales. Now, to figure that out, we could do a formula. We could sit there and we could go C or equals C2 times, we got to change our percentage into a decimal, right? And then we could copy and paste that, all that, and all that fun stuff. But actually, there's a much easier way to do this in a table, right? And so to do that, we're going to go like this. We're going to, first of all, we're going to put that equal sign in there. All right. But instead of having this whole C column, we're just going to use some brackets. Right? And the instant I put a bracket in there, you're going to see I can choose what part of the table I want to have in that brackets. This, of course, I want order amount. And then I'm going to end my brackets. And now I'm going to multiply by that 0.3% and type that formula in there. And suddenly, all those numbers appear in a much, much easier way instead of having to select it and then drag that all the way down and have a copy and paste all the way down, which for 800 cells, that's kind of a lot of work. Right? So we have that idea. Right? Now, from here we're going to move to sheet 2. Right? From sheet 2, you're going to see is blank. Right? And so you're going to have to open up the tutorial. And as you open up the tutorial, you're going to see on the second page, you're going to see a picture with just a small amount of information that you need to type in to this. Go ahead and do that right now. All right, now that this data has been created, I'm going to turn it into a table. Right? If you didn't look up the tutorial, you can definitely copy the data here as we go on. As I create a table, I definitely want a total row again to help me out with what's going on. Now, I do want to figure out the commission amount, right? And so, once again, right, we're going to do equals, and we're going to do sales amount times that 3%, and that's going to solve that amount for us, okay? And so we have that idea. Now, from here, right, I want to know how much each of my salesperson is actually making. Right? And to do that, I need to do a couple of different steps before I can get started on this. Right? First of all, I want to go up here to the left side, Table Tools Design, if you got off of this, Table Tools Design. And on the left side, right now it says table name is Table 2. And I'm going to change that, and you need to change that to Department Sales. Right? And we can do that. Right? So that has renamed our table that specific name. Okay? From here, we're actually going to go outside of our table. We're just going to click a blank cell, and we're going to use this to find the sum. Right? So instead of pressing equals C22 and C7, all right, or C22, C7, adding all this stuff together, we can do this in a much, much faster way. All right? So, let's use a new formula. We're going to press equals. We want a sum. So let's go ahead and type sum in. Then we're going to put parentheses. And instead of putting, our individual cells, let's put the whole table in. So we can write department sales. All right? And now I can put my brackets in. And I can choose the column that I want. I want sales amount. And my brackets. But of course, I don't just want that one thing added together. I want this column plus this column. All right, so I'm going to leave a comma. I'm going to write department sales again. Right, so now it highlights the full table. My brackets, and now I want my commission amount this time. End my brackets, and then also end my parentheses to make sure it's taking a sum of all of that. Right? And hopefully when we press enter, we get a nice number appearing for us to determine that total. Okay? So, this is the basic tutorial. All right? Now, along with naming the tables, right, we want to design and change the name here. We can also go down here where it says sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and we can also change these. And if I right-click on sheet 2, right, I can rename this. Let's name it according to the same name as that. All right. And then if you take this, rename it, we're going to call this sales sheet. And then this one, we're just going to give the name questions. Right? All right, then here's your assignment. Okay, your assignment beyond making sure you do change these names, all right, is to answer these. There are 10 questions, right, based upon this information. All right, so there's a number of answers for this one right here. Okay, so you're going to use these ideas. You're going to use your filters. You're going to use some formulas that I just taught you. Right, you're going to use these tables to help you answer these questions. Right? And that's your assignment for Excel 6. Right, when you're done, once again, go back to Office 365 and upload it to sites. Okay, to the sites. It's like my internet's going slow. Alright? Alright, sites, and then go to Compute Class and in the correct folder. There should be an Excel 6 folder there. Alright, that's enough for Excel 6. Go ahead and get started on that and work